Hi, I'm Brendan James and I run the AV team at the barn. Welcome to AV Training Series. We created these videos to help staff members and volunteers confidently set up and operate our AV equipment for meetings or events when an AV team member isn't available. These videos aren't intended to make you an AV expert. Instead, they just guide you through the tasks that you need to perform, one step at a time, so you can confidently prepare the auditorium for your event. The training has been divided into a series of short modules. Some modules will take you through, say, completing a setup for a particular type of service, such as a meeting or a funeral or an AGM. Other modules might focus on skills like using ProPresenter, playing background music, or starting a live stream. This means you only need to watch the videos that are relevant for you for your event that you're running. Throughout each video, we'll explain not only what to do, but why we do it that way. Please follow the steps in order they're shown. Some of the equipment needs to be powered on and shut down in a specific order to operate it correctly and to help protect the system. At any stage you're unsure or it just does something unexpected, please stop, contact a member of the AV team rather than trying to change settings you're not familiar with. Let's get started. In this series, we'll prepare the auditorium for a basic meeting with a single wireless mic. Our first step is to power up the auditorium and prepare the AV equipment. If you've organized the meeting with Kristen and the ops team, the auditorium light should be on and you can just carry on with the steps after that. But let's assume everything is dark. What to do? Just take out your phone and put your flash on and walk safely to the DB board by the sound desk. Okay, so to turn the auditorium on, it's these two lights over here. And while we're here, we might as well turn the whole DB board on, which will give power to the sound desk and the light computer. I just turned everything on.
Speed does not matter here.
Okay, so these three stations have their own UPS. So it needs to come on. Okay. The sound desk comes on by the back. There's a button on the bottom. There's a button that goes on. And the computer has a little switch at the top right. We have now turned on the sound desk and the Windows PC that has the lights and the background music. On the sound desk, there are some profiles, and those profiles do have a password for them for the end user like Daniel. But for all the events, there's an actual profile called Events. It has no profile, and you click it, and then you have access to the faders and all that. So let's click Event. And now the sound desk is on and the lights computer on. You need to log into Windows, but you can get the password from me directly. And you just log into the computer. It will load up Onyx by itself, and it will load Spotify by itself as well. Let's go to the front of the stage by the rack. Let's turn the rack on. Okay, so now we're at the front of the stage, and the big rack there has all the equipment for the wireless mics, for the receivers, the in-ear receivers for the singers. It has the amps for the speakers, and it has a thing called Klang. You don't have to worry about it, but it's all the equipment that's needed, and it needs to be powered on. So right above the rack is another DB board. You open it. Anything inside here, it's all over here. The only thing that you have to worry about, you see these are screens. You can't turn them all on at the same time. Else you'll trip the switch that by the main toilet. You have to go turn that on first before. So
The switch by the men's bathroom.
the main bottom. So you can turn those on, and it's just like it's not like waiting too long. Okay, and sometimes the switches will switch down. You just turn it up and down and up again, just for it to catch. It's all on. So let's have a quick recap. We've gone to the sound desk, we've turned on the DB board, we turned the lights on first, and then we just turned on everything else. We then went under the sound desk, turned the UPS on, and we turned on the sound desk. We turned on the Windows PC that has the lights and Spotify. Then we went to the front of the stage and we turned on that DB board that put on the rack for the amps and etc. for sound to come through the speaker. Now we're going to go to the AV room. Okay, so you've left the auditorium, come into the lobby, you've turned right, and you've gone to the AV room and it's locked. What now? Well, let's turn around, and behind, opposite the door, there's a short wall, there's a black lock box. Let's watch the video. It's a terrible lock because you need 2 fingers to open it. So the code is 0601, which again you can't even see because I'm old. Okay, and then you have to pull that lock down, this whatever, and then you have to push this and pull it towards yourself. So I can't do this with one hand. It's like, okay, we've opened the door, and first thing we need to do is turn the light on. The light switch is right here inside the door. Please note that that light switch is the same light switch that turns on the kitchen. They have their own switch, but it's the same circuit. So when I turn my lights on, it turns the lights on in the kitchen. If they turn their lights off in the kitchen, my lights go off. So we are connected. Once the lights are on, you'll look to the left, and there's a DB board. You need to turn everything on. Everything goes on. Okay. And then we simply put these 2 UPSs on. Okay. And that's turned on most of the things except the 2 computers. Okay, and this computer. That top computer that I just turned on is not always necessary. That computer we use for to set up the live stream, or on Sunday morning at 8:30 when we have 3 cameras and we do our online service. We can switch between the different cameras from their computer, but generally it's not necessarily needed for a basic meeting. Now we need to get the mics. Under the sound desk is a big drawer. Pull it out and you'll see 7 mics. There's 5 Vox mics, Vox 1 to Vox 5, and 2 HH mics to stand for handheld. We can grab handheld 1 or handheld 2, it doesn't make a difference. They've got HH1, HH2. So that links up to that HH1. So this is handheld 1, handheld 2. You turn them on by holding this button for a bit, and it will sync up. And it's orange because it's been muted here. You turn it on there. So this is the overall on and off button. This is just a temporary mute, unmute, so that when he puts it down, it doesn't go. You can just mute it. That. Now we need to check the batteries. Some of the batteries don't need to be changed all the time. The batteries are expensive, so the easiest way to do it is to take the mic that's on and unmute it, and take it to the front and look at the rack, and one of those little boxes will have a green dot, and that is your active mic that you've got on. And you can look at it and there will be an indicator of the battery. If the battery indicator is full or 3/4, fantastic, you're ready for the meeting. If it's not, then you have to go back to the AV room, and in a drawer there's a big box of our batteries. You'll need to unscrew the bottom and take out the 2 AA batteries and replace them with new ones. Then you just close the cover again, and that's as simple as that. And replace them with new ones. Just obviously pay attention to the positive and negative. Close it down, push it up, and screw it in. So let's go to the sound desk and test that mic. You how to put the sound on for that's playing from Pro Presenter, but the same thing applies to the mic. When you're talking on the mic, you'll see one of the indicators flashing green, and that is your mic. You would need to unmute and take the fader up. Watch this video and hopefully it makes sense.
Okay, video is on the props.
So I can mute it. So why is it no music? I don't know. It's on. It's muted. Okay. So you need both of these on. The total volume and the individual volume. Okay. So nothing's going to work or nothing's going to work. They both need to be on. Okay. Great. You got through the first video, and we're going to end here. The next video will show you how to shut down everything.